Aloha and good afternoon. You're watching This Is Now. First today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is getting ready to take the stage tonight as the Democratic vice presidential nominee.
Skylar Henry is in Chicago with details on day 3 of the Democratic National Convention.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz checked out the stage at the Democratic National Convention hours before he's set to deliver his keynote speech as Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate.
When you look at Tim, you see a Democratic governor delivering results in every community, from the cities to the suburbs to rural towns.
Former President Bill Clinton and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will also take the stage tonight before Walz officially accepts his party's nomination. It's an opportunity for the former congressman, Army National Guard veteran, and one-time high school teacher and football coach to introduce himself to a national audience.
There are still quite a few people who do not know who he is. What are you expecting tonight?
I think that there are lots of people. You're being generous.
Senator LaVonza Butler of California says Walz will address all Americans.
Coach Walz, I believe, is going to speak directly to working families all across the country, communicating what he and Vice President Harris want to get done in moving our country forward.
And while Harris and Walz try to continue to build momentum, William Howell, a professor of American politics at the University of Chicago, says to do that, they need specific policies.
They need to give a fuller sense of what their vision is, where they want to go, so that the interest is sustained and the enthusiasm is held.
Harris will have the opportunity to do just that tomorrow night when she accepts her party's nomination. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Chicago.
Hawaii's delegation was in the middle of all the action. Daryl Huff continues our coverage from Chicago.
Night 2 of the Democratic Convention was a lot calmer than Night 1. The highlight for the Hawaii delegation were speeches by 2 children of Hawaii, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, who went to McKinley High School and UH, and of course Hawaii-born former President Barack Obama, whose speech seemed to call on the aloha spirit.
But America can be and must be a force for good, discouraging conflict, fighting disease, promoting human rights, protecting the planet from climate change, defending freedom, brokering peace.
The aloha spirit is around the world, and this is what the campaign represents, the spirit of aloha, kindness, generosity, and love.
I think seeing Michelle and Barack Obama bring back, it wasn't that long ago, but just bring back a time when there was some normalcy, when it wasn't always, crazy and we had to worry about the future of our democracy.
Senator Duckworth, who had 2 daughters with in vitro fertilization, was more biting.
And together, in November, we'll send a message to old Cadet Bone Spurs. Stay out of our doctors' offices, and when you're at it, out of the Oval Office too.
Hawaii Republicans were not impressed by the speeches, even though they were meatier on policy.
The Democrats like to use numbers and figures for their agenda, and they like to pull on the emotional strings of voters to vote for them. But once they get into office, we are not better off.
So let's get to work.
Tonight, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will take the national stage for the first time since being picked as Harris's running mate. His selection has been welcomed by Democrats who talk a lot about balance. They think he will have more appeal to progressives, veterans, and rural voters. And of course, he brings ethnic balance as well, which has long been a factor in Hawaii politics.
I'm high on this ticket. It's balanced, a man and a woman, an African-American vice presidential, now presidential nominee, and a Haole guy from the Midwest.
Super Haole.
He is super Haole. That dude is as white as can be out of Minnesota, but he is he's like a football coach and served in the National Guard. So it's a fascinating match of the two, and I think that's going to bode very well.
You can always count on Governor Green to be very straightforward about these things, but tonight is unlikely to be about ethnicity. It will be more about whether Tim Walz can project his qualifications to be vice president, as well as show that he can be a tough campaigner against Trump and Vance. We'll also be reaching out to Hawaii Republicans later tonight to get their reaction. Reporting from the Democratic National Convention, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Former President Trump campaigned in North Carolina today, holding his first outdoor rally since the assassination attempt against him. On stage, a clear, bulletproof barrier added by the Secret Service. Today, he responded to some of the remarks made last night at the DNC by former President Barack Obama.
Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night take little shots? He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, sure, please stick to policy, don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people.
North Carolina is a key swing state. Trump won it in 2016 and 2020, but a New York Times Siena College poll now shows him trailing Kamala Harris by 2 points. The former president travels to Arizona tomorrow with an event focused on the border, while his running mate J.D. Vance will campaign in Georgia. We continue to monitor a developing tropical cyclone southeast of the state. The storm is expected to be named today. Drew Davis has your first alert update.
Here's an update on the potential storm approaching Hawaii this weekend. Officially, the storm is not named and will likely become a tropical depression over the next several days. Let's take a quick look at the satellite to see what the storm looks like as of Tuesday evening. Notice the system does not have the general look of a tropical storm or hurricane, there's no center of circulation as of yet, and there are two different low pressure systems competing for space and instability. Eventually, these two systems will combine, creating the storm we are expecting this weekend. The crux of this forecast, again, comes from how far north or south this system will move. In the current weather models, there are discrepancies in where and when the storm combines into one, leading to discrepancies in the eventual path of the storm. In other words, high uncertainty still exists in the equation until we have an actual tropical cyclone develop. When this system is tagged as a tropical depression, the Central Pacific Hurricane Center will release an official track that details storm path and intensity through time. As of Tuesday, ensemble weather models have pushed the system further northward compared to what was modeled on Monday, and that means we can't rule out a landfall just yet. The Big Island looks to receive the most impacts this evening, more so for South Point, Ka'u, and the Pahala regions. Heavy rain and strong winds are possible. Again, models can change drastically before we reach this upcoming weekend, and there's still a lot of uncertainty in this forecast. Make sure to check back with our First Alert weather team regularly ahead of the impactful weather this weekend.
Happening today, West Oahu leaders and residents are coming together looking for ways to stop the violence. They want you there as they look for solutions after the recent shootings on Oahu's leeward coast. City Council member Andrea Tupola and State Representative Cedric Gates and Darius Kila are holding a youth-focused crime prevention town hall tonight. It will be taking place at Waianae High School at 6 p.m. Loved ones of shooting victims are especially encouraged to attend. Now, all of this comes after the most recent shootings in which 2 teens were seriously hurt last Thursday near an apartment complex on Ala'akau Street. HPD has not reported any arrests so far. Last Wednesday, police shot and killed a man who opened fire at his neighbors in Waianae Valley. And before that, a man was shot and killed at the Waianae Boat Harbor. The suspect, Roston Brown Castro, pleaded not guilty on Monday and is being held without bail at OCCC. Elsewhere around Oahu, a stolen Hawaiian electric vehicle led police on a chase throughout Honolulu. HPD says a 39-year-old man took this Hiko van when it was left unattended with the keys inside around 4:30 Monday afternoon. Officers eventually cornered the driver at the Shell gas station on McCulley Street just before 7 p.m. That suspect now faces charges including auto theft and resisting orders to stop. We're also learning about a man who admitted to faking his death by accessing Hawaii's death registry system last year, and he has been sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Court documents say Jesse Kipf created a phony death certificate to avoid paying more than $100,000 in child support in Kentucky. He pleaded guilty in April to computer fraud and aggravated identity theft. Also happening today, an update from the Navy about Red Hill. The Navy plans to provide an updated timeline on the closure of the fuel storage facility. Officials will hold a public meeting today at the Moanalua Community Center. It's happening from 5 to 7 p.m. Last month, the Navy said it was on track to close Red Hill by 2028. Right now, crews are scheduled to finish pressure washing the tanks by the end of the year. And in Kalihi, take a look at what was captured. A 2-foot-long opossum was found Tuesday afternoon. Freight workers spotted it while unloading construction materials in a shipping container from California. The Agriculture Department is now testing the animal for rabies. To report an illegal animal, you're urged to call the state's pest hotline at 808-643-PEST. And it's Wednesday, which means it's time for our Crime Roundup. Joining us here in the H&N Digital Center is Sergeant Chris Kim with Crime Stoppers. What do you have for us today?
I got 3 cases that I want to highlight. The first case is a theft in the second degree that happened over at the Pearl City Home Depot store on Monday, August 12, 2024, about 6:39 a.m. This male entered the Home Depot store and loaded up that cart full of items. It's been classified as a theft in the second degree, meaning that the total value of all the items taken was over $750. He's been described as an unknown male with a brown straw hat, white collared shirt, light colored pants, black sunglasses, and gray shoes. Our second case is a burglary in the first degree that happened over at Ka'amilo Street in the Aiea area on Friday, July 26, 2024 at about 2:37 p.m. This male broke into that home on Ka'amilo Street and took various items. He's been described as an unknown male between 20 and 30 years old, approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall to 6 feet tall. Black hat, sunglasses, a blue face mask, a black shirt, and tan shorts. And our last case is a robbery in the second degree. This is a bank robbery that happened over at the Bank of Hawaii, Manoa, on Saturday, August 10, 2024, at about 10:50 a.m. This male entered the Bank of Hawaii, handed a teller a demand note. He was then given an undisclosed amount of cash, then fled. He's being described as an unknown male, approximately 6 feet tall, weighing 230 pounds, wearing a green long-sleeve shirt, gray sweatpants, surgical mask, and sunglasses. All 3 cases we talked about today can be seen over at the www.honolulupd.org website, bottom left-hand corner under wanted persons, as well as all the other cases that we need help from the community in helping us to solve.
All right. And Chris, I understand you also have something else you want to talk about today. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to take this time to mention that the Kickstart Karate program is going to have their annual fundraiser. This program was started by the late retired HPD chief and former Crime Stoppers president Lee Donahue. They're still continuing his legacy on by continuing this valuable resource. What it is, it's this program offers an outlet for kids to kind of avoid juvenile delinquency, staying out of trouble. They learn martial arts. This is a nonprofit organization which is strictly funded through donations as well as their annual fundraisers. Once again, they are having their annual Taste of Kickstart event on Sunday, September 1st, 2024. This will be held over at the Hawaii Kai Town Center from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. They'll be honoring the late police chief, Sensei Lee Donahue. There'll be food offered by Roy's, Tiki's, Miley's Thai Bistro, Kanakatak. There'll be a sushi and seafood bar as well. If you want more information, or actually they're looking for donations as well. So if you want more information, go in and contact them at 808-286-8831 or email them at akkkarate@hawaii.rr.com.
And of course, we will get all of that information on our website and mobile app. Real quick, pre-sale tickets, or you can just show up and join the fun?
It's my understanding there's still tickets available.
Okay,
also, you can go in and stop by that day as well. It's a wonderful event. I've been there before. Great food, great cause. So if you please support the late retired HPD chief and former Crime Stoppers president Lee Donahue.
All right, awesome. Chris, thank you so much.
All right, here's the live look outside. Guys, going to have your weather after this quick break.
How's it on this Wednesday? We have some pretty nice weather ahead, at least today, tomorrow, and to some extent Friday. And then we're going to be watching and getting ready for what could be an onslaught of severe weather. This is a developing cyclone. It's expected to maybe become a tropical storm. And behind it, we've got Hurricane Gilma, which could impact our weather maybe sometime late next week. So at least for today, even though it's going to be beautiful, you should be preparing for some severe weather, which is expected in over the weekend. This morning, just a few showers for a handful of windward spots, a little wet for East Maui. Otherwise, rainfall will be minimal, probably through Friday. So it's going to be a beautiful Wednesday. Make no mistake about it. But take the time today, because things are going to be mellow, take the time today to prepare for what could be a very stormy weekend. Now, the surf's on the rise. We've got a significant swell moving into north and west shores, near advisory level. So this is going to be pretty good and pretty big. But keep in mind, it's to some extent dangerous for those inexperienced in large surf. The South Shore swell, which has been kicking for the last couple of days, is on the way down, but we still got some pretty good stuff. And those approaching possible cyclones could increase the surf significantly for east shores over the next few days. So again, things are looking pretty good today, but we've got lots of activity in the East Pacific. This could become a tropical storm and could impact the state over the weekend with heavy rainfall, gusty winds, which could lead to power outages, as well as some large surf. Now, that's just the first tropical system. Behind it, there is another one. This is Gilma, expected to impact our state sometime Wednesday and Thursday. Those conditions at that time could be severe as well. And then behind it, we've got another system which could bring us some more foul weather, although that's at the end of the forecast period, so there's less certainty with that. So again, prepare for these first alert weather days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, especially if you're on Hawaii Island or on Maui County. They will likely see the most severe, the roughest weather, as well as the biggest surf. And then slowly things ease up by Tuesday.
With the new UH school year set to start next week, UH President David Lassner joined Spotlight Now. We also caught up with a Hawaii Olympian about his time in Paris.
On the latest episode of Spotlight Now, we caught up with UH President David Lassner. His contract ends at the end of the year. Right now, he is focused on the start of the school year next week. He spoke about his time at UH, over a decade at the helm there, thinking about what the university was like versus when he got there versus now as he's about to leave.
When I first took the job, and I would open a newspaper every day, and if there was a headline about the university, I dreaded reading the story because it was not going to be good news. And now, I mean, our bad news gets covered fairly, but it's not, the media are not full of bad stories about UH. And, I think that's reflected in community sentiment as well. And they want to love their university, and we just need to help them.
We also were able to catch up with Micah Christensen, of course, a Kamehameha alum and three-time Olympian. He was able to share his experiences at the Paris Olympics. He also talked about the unique challenges of playing for a bronze medal match. The team lost in 5 sets to Poland in order to advance to the gold medal match, but after that loss to Poland, had to rebound quickly to play in that bronze medal match.
The bronze medal match at the Olympics, when you're working 4 years to, your goal is gold. At least that was ours. And it was as if our goal passed away. And so we had to sit in it and grieve a little bit, take that time. And it's so hard. Like, we, as a team, we took that evening, we took that morning, the next morning to have a meeting the next morning, air anything out that we needed to say, and then have the opportunity to lock back in and say, like, look, we have a chance to win an Olympic medal, have something to take with us forever and be etched in the history books.
And of course, Team USA able to win the bronze medal match with a 3-set victory over Italy and coming home Olympic medalists. To hear more from Micah Christensen and whether or not he will be playing in the LA 28 games, make sure you head over to the digital platforms of Hawaii News Now to watch our full interview.
Next week, we'll be talking about Hawaii's relationship with the military. Hope to see you on K5 at 1 o'clock on Tuesday.
And Micah was so sweet. He was in the newsroom. He let like us put on his medal and wear it, and took lots of pictures with fans who are our staff members, and he was really great.
Oh, that's so awesome. I was a little too shy to say hi just because he's an Olympian and it's kind of scary.
He
but
was so nice.
That's awesome.
All right. This is a weekend everyone looks forward to here in Hawaii. The Made in Hawaii Festival is back this weekend at the Convention Center. So the massive pop-up market is celebrating 30 years of showcasing some of Hawaii's best products. Casey Lund is in the H&N kitchen with details.
30 years, the Made in Hawaii Festival this weekend at the Hawaii Convention Center. We've got a lot to talk about. Grateful to have Dee from Dip by Dee with us here in studio, as well as Olena Heu from the Made in Hawaii Festival. We got a lot to talk about. First, though, I want to give Dee some love. She came down here. You guys have some stuff you're rolling out because this is your first time in the Made in Hawaii Festival, right?
Yes, thank you for having me. We are not only excited, we're super honored to be a part of such an incredible event. We know all the vendors spend months and months preparing for this, so we're just super excited.
Excellent. And again, you guys have some special stuff that you have just coming up this weekend, right?
Yep, we've got a special and exclusive Made in Hawaii sampler mini box. We're gonna bring out our mac nut apple. Love the macadamia milk chocolate apple. We'll be offering slicing for the caramel apples at the event as well. And if you, with a $50 purchase, you will get a free pink reusable bag. They are great bags. We use them for lunch bags. We see them floating around everywhere. They're so fun.
Awesome. And really quickly, before we go, you have some good news to share.
Yes, I'm super excited to announce that we are going to be expanding to the 9th island. We're going to be here in the next couple of months. We're still in the middle of construction, but stay tuned on Dip by Dee LV on Instagram for any and all updates.
Yeah, awesome. Wow. Thank you so much, Dee. That is great. Oh, then, okay, while we have you, I want to have you come over here. We've got a lot more to talk about. Walk us through really quickly the products that we've got here. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about Hawaiian Chip Company launching a brand new flavor, Kilauea Volcano. So it's kind of a second iteration of his spicy chip, but not as spicy as the one before. Yeah. And then
you're walking all the way through the islands here, right?
Soul Creeper. This is Jerky Lab from Kaneohe, and he specializes in really unique flavored beef chips. So he also has like kimchi, sriracha, lihimoi lollipop was a really unique one. Kauai, we've got salty wahine.
And she also does sugar,
and
correct?
She does sugar, so I wanted to showcase that she doesn't just do salty things, she does some sweet things as well. And then over on the Big Island, Liko Lehua tropical butters. They've got like mango butter, guava butter, Hawaiian vanilla bean butter. So really unique and delicious and from the Big Island.
And then we're ending on Maui, right?
Yes, so last but not least, we got a husband and wife duo from the island of Maui. They create Maui fruit jewels, and those gems are actually made with organic Maui grown fruits, and they also do delicious cookies as well.
You know, we have some video from years past. This is something that's been going on for 3 decades, and I think especially when we think about our neighbors on Maui, people that have been through a lot, now more than ever, they need the support, and this festival is all about that, right?
Absolutely. Well, you know, we import about 80 to 90% of our product right into the state, and so it's most important to support local and keep that money here in the islands, and that's what Made in Hawaii Festival is all about.
And then you see people that have started a business here like Dia and now expanding taking her talents to the mainland, but keeping them here too. That's important to note, so we appreciate them. By the way, the details, let's put them up on your screen really quickly. Things kick off on Friday, right?
Yes, Friday morning, and we open to the public at 10. It's 10 to 8. And then 8 to 9, and then 9 to 5 on Sunday. And so, you know what? Made in Hawaii Festival all weekend long.
Excellent.
$8 a ticket for all day access.
Food, fashion, and entertainment. What else do you need? Olena, thank you so much for being with us. If you missed any of those details, by the way, you can find them at hawaiinewsnow.com. I'm going to try some of this jerky.
Oh, Casey, he is always eating.
Is it creeping on you?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
I was going to ask you the same. I have not been to Made in Hawaii Festival. Definitely seen pictures. Always looks packed. I imagine it's kind of like a major Mary Monarch.
Huge event. Yeah, I'm really sad I'm going to be off island this weekend. Otherwise, I would go check it out. Because you know I'm in the market for some sandalwood necklaces. Yes. I feel like that would have been perfect.
Yes, of course. So if you are itching for some good Hawaiian crafts, go ahead and check that out, happening at the Blaisdell. We also want to pass along a programming note. There will be no This Is Now tomorrow. That is Thursday. The Hawaii News Now team will be coming together in a private ceremony to honor our late news director, Scott Duff, who we mentioned he passed a few weeks ago. So we are going to take our time as a team to honor his life and legacy. And we also want to remind you, coming up right after This Is Now is Investigates TV. Stay tuned for that. But for now, let's end today on a beautiful live shot once again out over, I believe this is Kaka'ako area, Waterfront Park. Jab some there. A beautiful day here in Hawaii. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Aloha.